You guys, my name is Mike Burns here. I'm just waiting to show you my Kageros Amber Dragon deck. So, something new, just to use up some set 4 stuff before it goes obsolete with the end. So, first card, Riding Vanguard, obviously Amber Dragon, so that with a grade 0. Triggers 4 heals, always. 6 crits. 4 draws and 2 stands. Now, 6 crits is enough, I think. Draw triggers, I find, they're always good in any deck, so always at least 4. The stand triggers, they actually do quite well in this deck. I wasn't too sure how they run before, because typically stand triggers aren't something that you'd normally run in a Kageros deck. You'd be more inclined to go for an extra 2 crits just to make it 8s for a more aggro deck, but with the stand triggers it gives you that much more. It does actually make it more aggressive, I think, because that way your opponent's got to watch for the additional rearguard attack that could come through, as well as any triggers that could go onto it. So, if anything, I think 2 stand triggers is enough. In terms of running any more, I think that would be too much. 2 is definitely enough. So, right, that's triggers. Grade 1s. Right. Obviously, as it's the Amber Dragon chain, 4 Amber Dragons, 4 Null Guards, 3 Vanilla 8Ks, 2 Heat Nails, and 2 of the Perfect Boost. The Heat Nails, they're actually not too bad. I mean, they're a relatively okay boost, but their effect means that you can put them behind Vanguards, and your opponent is more wary of their attacks. So basically, if you attack with a Vanguard, they normally wouldn't block, but if they've got a grade 1 that they want to keep, they're going to block it. The Perfect Boost, 2's definitely enough. You don't really want to run any more than them, because typically if you don't get it your first or second turn, you're going to have something else behind your Vanguard, so 2's more than enough. And the Vanillas are just an additional boost. It's not bad, so that's the grade 1s. Grade 2s, 4 Armor Dragons, 4 Lava Arms, and 3 of the 10k Vanillas. Lava Arm is really quite good actually. I mean, as a rear guard, to have a 12k without requiring a boost is really good, especially when you go up against 11k Vanguards. So that's always really good, and of course because of that they always draw fire. So they're fairly good to have as rear guards. The only problem is their effect. If you misride, or if you don't ride the Amber Dragon chain, they're into 5. So it's a wee bit hit and miss, but for the most part, I've been running them, I've managed to usually get Amber Dragon out 4 out of 5 times. It's about that. So typically, it's always usually going to be a decent number. It's hitting 4. So I think it's good to run, and 4 seems to be doing okay with me for now, so I'm just going to stick it to 4. But, I mean, I might be tempted to take 1 out and put in another Vanilla if I did, but so far 4 seems to be okay. Okay, and last but not least, grade 3s. Amber Dragon Eclipse, 2 Overlords, and 1 Dulax Archdragon, that's called. Now, 2 Overlords, just if you have enough counterblast, and yeah, this is your rear guard, just you counterblast and you get the effect, and your opponent has to guard that much more if it goes through. The Dual Axe, it's actually not too bad. Basically what I find is the style you typically want to play with this deck is you want to attack the rear guards as often as you can get away with, so that you basically whittle down their field so they've got as little rear guards as possible. So you can get off this effect, which gives him an extra +3. So if he's got the 8k behind him, that's a good column of 21. So it's good numbers. I think 1's enough, because typically just any more than that and you're not going to get the effect. So you'd much rather have Dragonic Overlord, which is an 11k, to use as a rear guard. And other than that, the Eclipse Dragon. The effect of Eclipse Dragon for Counterblast 2, it's not bad. I think it would have been better if the effect could have said if the attack went through, then you can choose to counterblast 2. That would have been much better, but I think it is a bit of an obvious one, so your opponent's probably going to always guard a grade 3 attack when it goes through with a perfect guard anyway, because usually by that point in the game each person's got typically 3 or 4 damage, so we're not really going to want to take anything from a possible critical. So okay, that's basically the deck.
Cheers for watching, guys.